As many of you know, we recently lost one of the greatest comedians of our generation, Gilbert Gottfried, best known for roles in animation, film, and television, passed away on April 12th of this year. As an amateur YouTube comedian and content creator, the news of his passing is a major shock. His comedic style and animated range of vocals and expression is one of the inspirations for the character of T-Bone 2004. His eccentric demeanor and personality was loved by all and cherished by many of his friends. And we here at the Illogical Podcast will miss him greatly. So this episode of TILPC will be dedicated to his memory, and we hope to carry his legacy in the coming months. On behalf of all of us, the community, the staff, and especially all that loved him, we wish to extend our deepest sympathies for his family and his fans. May God bless Gilbert Gottfried.
Common sense? Something so rare these days. It might as well be a superpower. Well, when you need common sense, you've come to the right place. It's the Illogical Podcast, featuring the superminds of the Seeker of Karens, Mindless Gonzo, the Real Red Medic, Blistered Blood, the totally original OC, Mutant Yoshi, and your host, the ranter who's still waiting for that copyright claim from Viacom, T-Bone 2004. Now, let's have some fun, kittens.
Bard, where is episode 3?
I streamed it.
Well, good, because we have been taking too long to get this episode out, and oh yeah, we're doing a show. Oh, hey everybody, it's T-Bone 2004, and I'd like to welcome you to the Illogical Podcast. You know, the show where we talk about the things that you need to be aware of, as our beloved MC Cinia Rose has said for us in the opening. And with that, I'd like to take some time to introduce my beloved panel. As always, you have the co-creator of TILPC, the lone gunman, Blister Blood.
What an asshole!
Oh man, good one. We also have the destroyer of Karens, Mindless Gonzo.
At least we got this going. And boy, do I have one that's quite a doozy.
Oh boy.
Indeed so, and we will see that later on in the show. And of course, the main troll of TILPC, but hey, I keep him around because I know he loves it here, and I know he loves my character, Mutant Yoshi.
Well, I guess we're going upstream now.
Oh, God damn it, we have to do this again.
Yeah, to go there, didn't you?
Lord of
Yes.
mercy. And of course, the one who actually got episode 3 up this time, thank goodness for that, the perfect fifth, the Blind Bard.
Hey everybody, it is good to be back here on the Illogical Podcast. How's everybody doing this evening?
Pretty good.
Excellent.
Doing pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, feeling pretty good.
Oh yeah.
All nice and loose and fancy free and all that.
Oh, absolutely.
Sort of like taking a nice long drag from a lucky strike. And let me tell you, any smokers out there would probably know that.
Oh, I can concur with that, even though I don't smoke myself, but I do know the feeling.
Like
I do
taking
too.
a nice nap.
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't smoke though, because I know that would probably ruin my voice if I did, but I can totally relate to that.
No,
What?
that's it.
After this whole fucking year, I think you probably should start.
Oh my good Lord of mercy. You know, that's the thing. We're only like 4 months into 2022, and holy crap, has everything hit the fan. Not just for TILPC, everybody in general. And holy cow, are you okay there?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Just taking an example puff. Yeah, it'd just be sort of like.
First quarter.
That sort of
yeah,
stuff.
the first quarter of 2022.
It's pretty nuts so far.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
goes without saying, $4 for a gallon of gas, and on the verge of World War III.
Well, it certainly beats about 2008 when I tried to live on my own and tried to attend college in a major city. One gas station broke $5 a gallon that year.
Wow.
I'm feeling pretty optimistic, but we're not going to get into politics here.
No.
Of course not. It's just it just seems like that's all the rage right now. Well, then again, I think the most important thing that's going on in the world right now is the slap that was heard all around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. I
To be
did have
honest-
questions about that too.
You mean the slap that ended Will Smith's career?
Well,
Yeah,
no.
he didn't-
From what
he
I
didn't deserve
understood,
that.
his 10-year ban is from attending award ceremonies
Huh?
hosted by the Academy. That's what I understood.
That's what I
And then
understood
you're
as
banned
It's a
well.
on
snub
any other
job.
Academy.
So wait. The slap wasn't the cause of his ban?
Well, actually, it did.
Either
Oh.
way, though, I call it a snub job.
Oh,
had to have
man.
been.
I had this suspicious feeling though for
Either-
a while. And hear me out. You could probably will say that this is crazy preemptively right now. That it would have felt staged too that this whole thing happened, because I remember people were just not interested in award ceremonies anymore, mainly because if you share the same exact sentiments as I do, more power to you, that nobody cared about award ceremonies anymore, especially when all it is, and it's going to be sounding a little graphic, a massive celebrity circle jerk.
I never cared about award ceremonies like that.
Yeah, really. It's like, who watches the Oscars anymore? You know,
I never
I
did
guess-
in the first place.
Ricky,
Same people every year though.
Ricky Gervais basically pointed this out during the Golden Globe Awards. I think it was like about maybe 2018, I want to say.
He was especially drawn, but hey,
Hey, he wasn't wrong.
No.
All I say is that Will Smith does not deserve to get canceled.
now, I'll say this much. I think it would have made more sense if, say, Ryan Reynolds did that to Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, I mean, come on. Anybody agree with me? It's like, Ryan Reynolds, as awesome as he is and everything, who wouldn't like to see Leo walk up and slap him in the face?
Oh, my gosh.
Personally, I would actually like to wager fucking Ryan Gosling how to catch that smack, because and especially to fix his eyes. I mean, the guy's eyes is basically looking off one way, the other way, and like, fucking.
Now, Blister Blood.
I'm kidding.
oh, I was about to say I liked him in Drive.
Like I said, I'm only kidding around.
Yeah,
All right.
I gotcha. But hey, it could be worse. You could be Joe Rogan right now.
Oh, man.
What's he
Fair
up to
point.
this time?
Oh, the fact that I think they said something about he was going to be on The Simpsons a while back, and they were looking to cancel him again.
Oh, gosh.
Over what?
Well, I mean, think about it. He's one of the most controversial radio talk show hosts right now. Add to the fact that he's tied with InfoWars and everything like that. So at this point, they're all looking at Joe Rogan like, this man needs to be canceled.
So what? I view it like this. Like, fucking. So what? He had Alex Jones on his show once. Big whoop. There's really nothing really to fucking harp on about there, if you ask me. But that's just me.
There is more to that too, which doesn't help with anything. But I would wager an argument about what would even canceling Joe Rogan do. What's that going to accomplish? Something we actually might be able to discuss about it in a future podcast episode.
You know what? That actually is a good idea. I
Mhm.
think we will have to go over that sometime down the road. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think? Should we have a Joe Rogan discussion on a future TILPC? Sound off in the comment section, and also if you're going to be watching this at the premiere party here on Discord, by all means, jump into the chat and let us know what you think. Should we do a discussion about Joe Rogan?
Just know that I'm the wrong person to ask because I have no idea who that is.
Trust me.
Former commentator for UFC.
He was the host
Way-
of Fear Factor.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
He
Yes,
was also
that Joe Rogan.
He was also a comedian at one point who did a very funny skit about Brokeback Mountain. And to be honest, that was the funniest thing that I have ever seen him do as far as YouTube goes.
Yeah, I completely forgot that guy even existed.
But I digress. Let's not get into the world of current events right now because everything is batshit crazy right now.
We still have to, because one thing is current.
What's that?
Streaming services.
Oh, funny. I was about to mention that. That's gonna be the touching point of tonight's TILPC. We're gonna talk about streaming services and how they're no different than premium channels on cable back in the 80s and 90s. Because let's face it, guys, we all know this is true. We all know for a fact that streaming services are no different than premium channels on cable back in the 80s and 90s. So that's going to be the focal point of tonight's show. Let's go ahead and get started with this, shall we?
Definitely.
Let's rock.
So, let's go ahead and knock out the first one because everybody knows me as the YouTuber who has gone nearly 16 years without a copyright claim from Viacom. Oh, wait, Viacom doesn't exist no more. It's now Paramount Global.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Paramount Global's big cash cow, Paramount Plus, who at this time of this recording has quite the library of shows on their streaming service. Everything from CBS to MTV to Nickelodeon. The list is nearly endless. And of course, with the recent 2 Sonic the Hedgehog movies, they now have a huge monopoly of all the classic Sonic the Hedgehog programs on Paramount Plus. So, thoughts on Paramount Plus?
This is actually sort of true in that case because I've also noticed that the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was on Netflix.
Oh, that's true.
That's just basically the one point that I want to raise there.
I did want to mention about Paramount Plus as well because I follow some animation reviewers on YouTube, and one of the things that Paramount Plus is lacking is original content, and at least for Nickelodeon's department.
You mentioned the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Sonic Boom also on Netflix?
I have not noticed this.
Now, this brings up an interesting point because the fact that Sonic Boom was a show that aired on Cartoon Network, which is under the big Time Warner umbrella, and we'll get to their streaming service in just a moment. But if they have all those shows, then why don't they have Sonic Boom on Paramount Plus? Is there some kind of copyright thing between Warner and Sega on that one that they can't show it on Paramount?
It's probably some type of a contractual type of thing, if you ask me. But then again, maybe I'm just talking out my ass as I usually do. But that's pretty much how I feel it. How I feel it is.
Now, with the advent of Paramount Plus and everything, I did mention that we're going to talk about the difference between streaming services and the 80s and 90s cable and everything like that. Now, this is where I bring up the common sense and logic thing, SNES says in the intro of the show.
Mm-hmm.
You may think that Paramount Plus costs a lot of money just to get a month's subscription. But what if I told you that back in the 80s and 90s, you were having to pay that premium for networks like Nickelodeon, MTV, BET, VH1, CMT, yet CBS is nowhere to be found because, you got your local stations and everything like that. So people are saying it costs too much money to get a streaming service and everything like that. Then what the hell is that back in the 80s and 90s? It's a premium service.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is actually sort of true as well because, like, especially if you're talking about some services like you of course I mentioned Paramount Plus. You've also got Hulu. You got obviously Netflix. You've also got recently Peacock, which basically combined everything that it has in NBC Universal, as well as recently picking up WWE. You basically got like a whole menagerie of types of shit out there. Like, come on, what the fuck are you looking for?
A lot out there, actually,
and it's all for a really good price.
And if it's too much for you, there's always Pluto TV. You can watch for free, but you got to deal with the ads. I'm sorry to say.
There's also Tubi.
Well,
yes.
Well, hey, it's the same exact thing with like Pluto and Tubi and everything like that. It's like, oh, why are there ads? Why do I have to watch ads for my shows and everything like that? Well, hey, premium cable and everything like that, they had to have ads too. Did we complain about that back in the day? I don't think we did.
Wait.
I imagine it's because we're used to with TV, because we always know that there's going to be commercials on TV and you can't even skip them or anything. But we're online and we're hoping that we don't have to put up with that. We could just stream that crap directly to our eyeballs without needing to deal with interrupting ads or anything. But unfortunately, not the case. They just pretty much move your premium TV channels onto the internet.
And then people pretty much use ad block anyway.
I, of course, am guilty of this. But then again,
As am I.
Yeah, but considering the fact that, I kind of don't want to spend like hours upon hours staring at ads like all the fucking time. I just want to relive some moments from my childhood, especially when you're talking about like earlier fucking WrestleManias, some shows that you haven't seen in a while, like, oh, I don't know, Rugrats or fucking Rocco's Modern Life, Real Monsters, and so on and so forth. Like, seriously, what is the big deal here?
Meanwhile, guys like me, I just like to watch my favorite classic shows. Like, you all can keep your cartoons and everything like that. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna watch my good old Perry Mason and everything like that. Don't get me wrong though. I enjoy some Rocco, and I enjoy some Doug, and I enjoy some Ren and Stimpy. Well, that's to an extent, but I'll have to say that for an episode of TILPC later on down the road. Anyway, not just Paramount Plus, but take into account the other one in the factor, the main competition of Paramount Plus. Let me ask y'all a question. You remember back in the 80s and 90s when your cable service provider, be it Viacom Cablevision or Time Warner Cable or anything like that, who here got commercials that said, we're going to give you a free week of the Disney Channel. If you like it, consider paying $15 more for the service. Upgrade to premium today.
That sounds familiar.
I think I remember hearing about that at least a time or two. I'm not 100% when and where, though.
Something similar like that. Like the cable in my building uses DirecTV, but we ever get that shit.
Yeah, for us, it's basically the main competition out here has basically been between Verizon and Cox. Maybe DirecTV, maybe fucking Dish. I don't know.
My whole area is currently dealing with it's currently under AT&T because they're also providing cable streaming services through their internet as well. So
now I'm just gonna say this: there are three main competitors, but the one that pretty much rules where I am is Sparklight. And oh my God, if you know of Sparklight, you know that they're probably the worst. But back in the day, they offered the Disney Channel at a premium price, And then they finally decided, hey, you know what? Let's just make it a premium channel, and you don't have to pay an extra 15, 20 bucks, whatever have you. But people are complaining that Disney Plus costs them way too much money just to stream Disney movies, Marvel movies, Star Wars, all that stuff like that. And they're saying, it's too much money. Why should I pay for it? Stuff like that. Well, hey, you were paying $20 for fucking Disney Channel.
Sounds like they're none too plussed about that.
Hey.
I would be complaining if instead of just having to pay for one service, you'd be complaining that you had to pay all these services because
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
trying to binge
Yeah,
trying to binge a series, but unfortunately, one season's on this streaming service, one's on another. They got the rest on this one.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is especially true because like when you talk about like a when you talk about like all the types of shows and movies and shit that you can see pretty much on one platform, but it's exclusive on another. Or actually, wait a minute, I got that backwards. Some may be exclusive to one service, some may be exclusive to another. But then again, there's also those times where they sort of intertwine with each other at some point. Like you can notice like some 80s action movies that you see on Netflix, you may end up seeing on Peacock, you may end up seeing on Hulu, you may even see on maybe even Disney Plus. Like there's a lot of cross what's the word I'm thinking of here? There's a lot of there's a lot of cross-platform material there. As I've said numerous times in the past, what is it that you're looking for? What are you going to be willing to tie yourself to? But then again, in my case, and this is actually going off of what you said there, Gonzo, I basically have I think, let's see, we got Netflix, Amazon Prime, Peacock. Those are the three that I know that we have, and even then, there's plenty of material to see. Again, what are you looking for? It's all right there for you to watch.
And you guys mentioned Tubi earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, Tubi or not Tubi? That is the question.
Oh my God,
oh,
dude.
no.
Are you really? How are you? Oh my good Lord have mercy. This guy, I swear.
Oh, come on, you're smiling.
Yeah, okay. But what
just for the record, folks, this is the one person that Thanos could not snap out of existence.
Oh, no. There is no way in hell. There is no way in hell you could snap Mutant Yoshi out of existence. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't understand these people sometimes. It's like they sit there and they say things like, it costs too much money to do Disney Plus. Yet, back in the day, they were the same people that were complaining to their parents and saying things like, Mom, Dad, can we get Disney Channel? Because I want to watch the Disney Channel. And they're like, no, it's too much money. What goes around comes around, in my honest opinion.
This is actually true because how much are some of these services going for? Like the lowest price point that I can think of, especially in, like I said, with Peacock's case, just to name an example, the lowest price you can get is like about $9.99 a month.
And that's not bad. That is actually not bad.
And that's at the base level. If you're looking for more advanced features and shit like that, you can go up to about as much as like say maybe $12.99, and that's with their Premium Plus service. Seriously, what's the big deal?
I don't know.
Karen's maybe.
Oh, and we're not even. Oh my good Lord have mercy.
Could also be a bunch of old fogies that don't know when fucking when to change the channel or what to watch. I don't know.
Okay,
Exactly.
Boomer.
Oh wow! Here we go.
Oh, piss off, you zealot.
Now hold on a second. Now that we're on the subject of premium channels like Disney Channel, which now is Disney Plus, let's also address another premium channel that everybody was pushing and pushing and pushing. All the cable companies were like, you gotta get this, you gotta get this. Let's talk about our good pals at the home box office, aka HBO.
Ah, yes.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
HBO
Mhm.
Max.
The classic movie channel that everybody had to have so they could watch all the movies they want. It also had its own original series, its own documentaries, and of course the gone but not forgotten George Carlin specials. Rest in peace, George, you crazy old fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Who could forget?
But
As well as some other additional late night programming that I won't get into.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Anyway, before we get flagged down for TOS services, I would like to make mention of HBO Max. This is the most discombobulated streaming service I have ever seen. Just about any show you can think of is on HBO Max. Some prime examples include The Big Bang Theory, South Park, Rick and Morty, God knows what else. And not to mention, they are the current owners of Sesame Street, a show that should not be on premium channels or streaming services. It should still be on PBS where it belongs. I can't control that. I don't know how to go about that or anything like that, but
But I do agree.
what do you guys think of HBO Max?
Haven't gotten it.
Me neither.
Neither have
Although-
I.
Although I kind of find it ironic that Sesame Street is basically in the same paywall services as The Sopranos, but you know, apples
It
and
really
oranges.
shouldn't be.
I wouldn't worry too much. It's just HBO making sure that show stays afloat.
I guess. Gotta make your money.
Yeah, but
is
go ahead.
is that really doing it though?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what they're trying to do. I'm not sure if that's working.
Well, technically speaking, wasn't there like programs that like the Sesame Workshop, formerly known as the Children's Television Workshop, didn't they have shows outside of PBS? Like back in the days of like really, really old 80s Nickelodeon or
I think so.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about like or outsourcing cartoons from Canada or some shit like that, I don't know.
oh yeah, that too. Now, this one is going to be very, very, very interesting, considering the fact we're talking about HBO Max, which, of course, we all know is Warner Brothers. So, thanks to our friend the Canadian Toast, who is one of the biggest supporters of TILPC, it has recently come out that we have streaming services for television, streaming services for movies, but let me ask you guys this. How about a streaming service for the news?
Oh.
You mean
Not
like
just-
Peacock?
No, no,
Oh,
no, no, no.
Recently, CNN has started CNN Plus.
Yeah, it's exactly what he was referring to. And it's not just news programming, but like original content like documentaries and the like. Because while it's good to be informed, it can't always just be streaming the news. That might be kind of defeating the purpose of creating original content for...
It's overkill.
yeah.
You know, at the time back in the 90s, when you had to get like premium cable and everything like that, at one time Fox News was considered premium cable. Who would want to watch a 24/7 news channel on premium cable? Why would you want to do that?
Why would anyone want to do that?
I mean,
How
unless
can
if
you do
you're,
that when you have dodgy like 5G internet out here?
maybe I could probably see that being a thing if you were like maybe 70, maybe 80 years old, and that's all you can stand nowadays.
True.
Yeah, that's possible. Or
Well,
maybe,
I'm kidding, by the way.
Of course you're kidding. I knew you were kidding.
or maybe
But-
they have a zest for news, and that's all they can find
I can't believe
entertainment
I
in.
actually got a pause on that one. Holy shit!
Uh,
I'm terribly sorry.
Oh my good Lord of mercy. But yeah, some people want to watch Sean Hannity, some people want to watch Tucker Carlson and all that stuff like that. But honestly, the day that they introduce Fox News Plus or anything like that,
Which I think they have.
I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done. I'm like, Disney, why are you doing this? Why are you making a 24/7 streaming service for Fox News? Nobody wants to watch that. And for the love of God, do not start doing reruns of the O'Reilly Factor. Nobody wants to watch him.
oh
No.
my gosh.
Nobody wants to see that leprechaun anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and this just in, everybody. This just in. Apparently, there will be a streaming service. There actually is a streaming service for Fox News called Fox Nation.
Yeah.
And that was
Toast,
also
thank you for reminding us that.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, good Lord. I don't even know anymore. I don't
We're
even
getting it in
know
all.
anymore.
We are getting it in all fronts.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm going to say is that hold on to cable as long as you can. Hold on to your premium cable boxes because I'm pretty sure in the next couple of years they're going to start doing another TV ad campaign warning everybody if you have a cable box, you might want to consider calling your service provider to trade in that old cable box for a new digital streaming box. Because on this date, cable will officially go off the air.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, think about it like this. That's pretty much how it was when we went to HD.
Oh yeah.
It's a great thought.
Yeah, way back in 2011 when analog pretty much was like, okay, we're just going to stop
I thought
using
it was
this.
2008.
Nope. I'll tell you when
I
it
think it was
was.
2011.
I'll tell you when it was. February of 2009.
I thought so. I thought it was 2009 because I
They
do
were-
remember that.
I wasn't
Uh,
far off on that.
Because
Oh,
it was in
was.
because in 2008 they started running PSAs off and on and off and on. Everybody you ever knew as a celebrity came on to warn everybody you might want to get to digital cable because in February of 2009 your rabbit ears will no longer work.
That's true.
I didn't know Project Smash Attack was a thing back then.
Oh my God,
Oh no.
ladies
Wait,
and
what?
gentlemen.
Wait a minute. That one flew over my head.
Project Smash
somebody
Attack,
explain that?
PSA.
Oh.
Oh my God, damn it, Mutant Yoshi. This guy, I swear, we're gonna have to get him a show. I said it before on another episode of TILPC, but I think we're gonna have to do it sometime down the road. We're gonna have to make Mutant Yoshi's meme cast, where he just does his best comedy for everybody. I feel like it could get as much publicity as TILPC does, even though we're still growing.
And hey, it might
If
just
you
be
want
a
to say so in
spin-off.
the comments.
Yeah. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think.
With that said, it is actually time to discuss something a little bit better than streaming services and premium cable, because let's face it, it's all one and the same. You all know this by now.
What do you
Absolutely.
mean a little bit better?
Well, this is where I'm going to shift gears just a little bit and turn it over to Mutant Yoshi, because if I'm not mistaken, you found out something very interesting as of late regarding a creepypasta, am I right?
Well, it's more speculation than something I found out. So let me get into what I've just thought about. So, you all know about Pokemon Black, right? No, not that Pokemon Black. This Pokemon Black. This is the Pokemon game where you begin your adventure with not only your starter, but also a Lavender Town ghost. This ghost had only a single move, Curse, and this move flat out kills not only Pokemon, but also trainers. At the end of your journey, it cuts ahead many years later when Red is an old man. All of Kanto is left empty, devoid of life. Once you get back to Pallet Town, you're faced with a reminder of all the trainers you've killed with the Ghost Curse. Red struggles with all his might, but nothing he can do can harm the ghost. all he does is hurt himself. And when Red falls to the last bit of remaining HP, the ghost finally uses the curse. And it's over. But what if we did things the game didn't intend? What if we slapped some Game Shark codes onto it? What would happen then? Now, I know this creepypasta game isn't real, and I'm not counting the fan-made remake in Game Maker. But given how far the ROM hacking community has come within the past decade, I could see someone actually making this into a ROM. While it may not actually exist, we can still discuss and speculate on the technical side of the aforementioned cartridge. Am I reading too much into an internet horror story that was only written up to be nothing more than an entertaining story? Yes, I am, but I'm doing it for fun, so whatever. Now, I won't be discussing what would happen if we got rid of Curse. The game still functions normally if you don't kill anyone from what the story says, so not much would really change. No, I'll be talking about something more interesting. When the trainer comes back on screen, they pay you your prize money as per normal. But if the ghost is your active Pokemon, the fight menu pops back up. From there, you can select Curse and kill the trainer. Now for this scenario, let's turn on the Catch Trainer's Pokemon code. The menu is still active, so theoretically, you can still go into your bag when this happens. Turning this code on, you're still able to throw a Pokeball. And because the code treats a trainer battle like a wild battle, you throw your Pokeball at the trainer and catch them. So you just caught a trainer. What now? Would the game have you enslave a human being to do the fighting for you? Well, no. Getting into the technical side, here's what I think would happen. First, let's assume the ROM hackers who made it accounted for this. In this instance, when you try to throw the ball, Professor Oak would yell at you some more, telling you it's not the time to use that. But what if they never planned for this? Since you were never supposed to catch the trainers in the first place, I don't think the game would know what to do. So upon catching them, you'd essentially catch garbage data, resulting in a glitched Pokemon much like Missing No. But would the game treat the results as though you killed the trainer? Probably not. See, the game would check if Curse was used. Since Curse wasn't used, the flag for the trainer's death would never be set. So you would not see them at the end of the game. The end of the game. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Jumping ahead to the very end of the game, we're met with a scenario where Red faces off with the ghost. This is a battle he's forced to lose. But let's make things more interesting. Let's use the Game Shark code to give Red attacks. Red would eventually be able to defeat the ghost before it had the chance to even use Curse. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't the game just say Red is too scared to move? Clearly not if Red is still able to use Struggle. So let's say we either defeat the ghost in battle or recapture it. Would the ghost's curse end and everything would go back to normal? Well, not exactly. This is supposed to be where the game would end. So, ending it in an unintended manner like this may result in one of two things. Option 1. The game would lock up and crash, due to there being no pointer for what to do after this battle. Nothing would have been coded beyond this point, so the game wouldn't have known what to do. Option 2. You return to the overworld screen, back in Pallet Town as if nothing happened. But because the ending flag is still set, there are still no Pokemon and no NPCs. You're basically soft-locked in a Kanto devoid of any life other than you. Nothing more to do than start a new game. Congratulations, you derailed the story. You're now stuck in limbo for eternity. This would probably be where I end my segment, but something else came to mind. Now, I'm curious about this one. The owner of the cartridge in the original creepypasta never once tried to trade Ghost into a normal red, blue, or yellow cartridge. Would it work? What would happen if we brought Ghost into other games? Well, for starters, Curse doesn't exist in red, blue, or yellow. It would probably change into something like a nameless glitch move. Sometimes when you use this move, it comes up as Jack Red or Niche. For the sake of brevity, we'll call this move Niche. Niche's effects in battle tend to be random, but more often than not, it just crashes the game when used. As for the ghost itself, it would probably change into Missing No, as it would be overwriting an unused slot in the game's index. Similarly, Pokemon Stadium wouldn't recognize it as a legitimate Pokemon either, and would cause it to show up as the substitute doll, as it does with all other glitch Pokemon. So, sorry. You won't be able to kill your trainers in regular red, blue, or yellow. That pretty much wraps up my theories on the technical workings of Pokemon Creepy Black. There are probably more questions left to ask, but those are the three I was most curious about. I know it's just a story and I'm overanalyzing things, picking it apart more than I should, but as someone who loves to dig deep inside the code, I would have loved to have gotten my hands on a copy of Pokemon Creepy Black, and messed around with GameShark codes just to see what happens. So, what do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think Mutant Yoshi has officially broken creepypastas. I don't know how he did it, but he did.
Hey, I like speculating on things like this. Yeah, like I said, I'm looking into this far more than I should be, but it's something that's fascinated me, much like the Godzilla creepypasta.
Oh my god, the Godzilla creepypasta.
It's kind of been the same way with me, especially looking into like what ifs regarding the Dragon Ball series.
Oh yeah.
really?
And there's plenty
yeah,
of those.
Yeah, like when Cell absorbed Krillin.
Or basically fucking what would happen if let's see what's a good example. Smugstick has a good series going as of right now, like saying what would happen if Goku was betrayed and was trapped in the hyperbolic time chamber.
That one I've never. I know that there's like one, and they actually made a manga based on it. What if Prince Vegeta was the one who was sent to Earth instead of Goku, and he ends up befriending Bulma, the likes of Bulma, Yamcha, and Krillin, and then having to fight off Kakarot and his brother Raditz. So
And
it's
we
kind
can't
of
forget about Dragon Ball R&R. What if Raditz turned good?
oh yeah.
Go X.
That's what I was about to say. If you want to see some good Dragon Ball what ifs, look up Masako X. We're totally not linked with him. We're totally not promoting him. We're just saying, look him up.
It's just
Hashtag not
Hashtag not
sponsored.
sponsored.
By the way, Bard, where is
Yeah.
episode 3?
I streamed it.
Oh my god, I feel like this is gonna be a meme.
Yes. Let's roll with it, folks.
Just like the fact that there was another meme that came along a while back during the 15th anniversary stream of TILPC.
Oh yeah.
Hey Bard, can I ask you another question?
Sure. What's up?
Does Haida own my voice?
Classic.
No, seriously, does he own my voice?
I think so. I think Haida
I mean-
does own your voice.
Well, I mean,
I'm-
he almost sounds like you.
Yeah, he does.
I'm asking you again. Does Haida from Agretsuko own the voice of T-Bone 2004?
Ah, good times.
Good times, great oldies, B101.
Oh my god, damn it.
Weather.
Oh boy, speaking of the weather, it's hot right now.
Yeah, it was actually kind of warm
Yep.
today. Got up to
Yep.
almost into the 70s.
Oh, that's nice. It's actually kind of chilly over here, but we had
I'm already missing the cold.
Oh, yeah, really. But hey, it's going to bring up an interesting little tidbit here. Apparently, in the community of TILPC, a lot of people have begun to speculate that I sound like Haida from Agretsuko, which I don't understand how that's a thing.
Huh, interesting.
Really, that's all you're going to say is, huh, interesting.
just watch the
Well,
English
yeah, because
dub.
I'm not quite familiar with Agretsuko myself.
It's basically a
seen it,
slice of
but
life anime about office life, and there is a
And how
character.
crushing it can be.
Yes.
Oh, ain't it the truth?
And there is a character, at least in the English dub, who is voiced by somebody who sounds eerily similar to our friend T-Bone.
This is
Tiba,
so
I didn't know you were
true.
a voice actor.
Yes.
I am not a voice actor, yet apparently people say that I have a very animated voice and that I should consider being a voice actor. I don't know why.
You
I
do
totally
have
don't
one of
sound
those.
like a character.
You do have one of those unique voices, T-Bone. It's irreplicable. I mean, seriously, you cannot replicate that. That's totally unique, and it's totally you. And I'm being genuine when I say that too.
Some people have said that I sound like an anime character, namely from MHA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have one of those voices that can't be replicated, unlike some voices.
What? What?
Oh, hi. Welcome to my schoolhouse.
Oh God.
Mr. Regular Car Reviews?
Oh my god.
That's just fantastic.
All around the US, from Florida to California, there's too many of them out there. But here, there's only one. It's the Karen of the month. So, who's it gonna be, Gonzo?
Very borderline touchy stuff. As people rang in the new year, they had different ways to celebrate it. Going to Times Square and hope to get caught on camera kissing someone while watching that bright ball drop. Getting all boozed up with your friends. Breaking dishware for Danish people. Or shooting your gun off in the American countryside, if not fireworks. For one Karen is to find another molehill to turn into a needless mountain, because those hasn't happened enough already.
Can I ask you guys to slow it down? It's about 10 after 11. You're not. This is not your part.
Our story starts in St. Louis, Missouri on KSDK TV Channel 5, where journalist Michelle Lee highlighted the kinds of foods traditionally consumed on New Year's Day, and what they represent when she jokingly concluded the segment with,
I ate dumpling soup. That's what a lot of Korean people do.
"Personally, I prefer chicken and dumplings. They're good." But while this silly comment would be a non-issue with normal folks, a Karen within the St. Louis metro area decided that her New Year's resolution is to continue the viral stereotype with an extra spice to it. In a video posted New Year's Day by Michelle on her Twitter, the Karen became one of the worst types of the bunch. A racist.
Hi, this evening your Asian anchor mentioned something about being Asian and Asian people eat dumplings on New Year's Day, and kind of take offense to that, because what if one of your white anchors said, well, white people eat this on New Year's Day? I don't think it was appropriate that she said that, and she was being very Asian, and I don't know.
Happy New Year, Michelle. Stop being so fucking Asian and eat a goddamn cheeseburger. It's making me, Karen McFuckstick, white American, uncomfortable. You can also hear she tried to drag her fellow reporters and anchors into the fray to be offended on their behalf. Typical social media Karen. Let me, the white bitch with too much time on her hands, be offended on your behalf. All the while looking like all the other dipshits that, thanks to COVID-19 origins, a sweeping Asian American sentiment had made Asian hate rival black hate. The bullshit that a young future Star Trek icon had to literally endure with World War II internment camps here in the States, back when that Asian hate ran at an all-time high. But Michelle wasn't going to take this lying down. So, the very Asian multi-award winning journalist and local media personality of 20 years shared the complaint on Twitter, letting the voicemail speak for itself.
She can keep her Korean to herself.
She then published an article on KSDK that displayed the cheers that she got for bringing up Asian New Year's Eve traditions, with other Asians sharing theirs as well, dwarfing the Karen call and making the hashtag Very Asian trend. KSDK pushed a statement supporting her, saying, "At KSDK, we embrace diversity in the people we hire, the stories we tell, and our local community. We will continue supporting Michelle and celebrating diversity and inclusion." She would wind up starting the Very Asian Foundation, a nonprofit charity for Asian American and Pacific Islander journalists, which eventually collabed with the national coalition Stop AAP Hate, earning her a spot on the Ellen Talk Show, who offered $15,000 to charity. She still continues doing what she can to end Asian hate. As for the Karen, we don't know, as the name remained anonymous just to spite her desire for attention. But for the sake of argument, we're just going to automatically assume it's a Karen. Because who else? She's most likely sitting up in her St. Louis suburban home, drinking wine from a box, her kids screaming and tearing up the house, upset at her attempt to get someone on TV to stop being so fucking goddamn Asian, backfired. For Karens, it never goes their way. No matter how many upper-level management personnel gets called to the registers, or how loud they were on the phone to tired dispatchers to voice insignificant issues, or how many tweets and Facebook posts done in all caps were submitted, it often gets the opposite results of what they want. For Michelle, the greatest victory is that which requires no battle. For Karens, next time you have a complaint that don't amount to a whole hill of beans, keep it to yourself. Otherwise, you're going to have to hear it from the Star Trek man himself.
You are made of stupid.
There you go.
Okay, very interesting, Karen, this time around, Gonzo.
Indeed.
And it had a happy ending to it.
Oh, yes.
You forgot to mention the minivan in her driveway.
Right. I forgot about that.
And the fact,
Or one
and the
of
fact
those
that she,
fucking mega chunker SUVs.
Oh, yeah,
and the
definitely.
fact that she watches the Maury show. Oh wait, we'll get to that in just a moment. But in all honesty, though, it's like I'm surprised that a simple tweet with a really, really nasty hashtag wound up becoming a forefront for stopping Asian hate. That is that's a pretty interesting turnaround.
You know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that much I can pretty much agree with it because, you know, and especially when you mentioned that one historical aspect there about internment camps, because like anybody can basically go on Wikipedia right now and look up things like Asian internment camps of like 1939, and there's pretty much what happens here, fucking civil rights there.
Oh yes, quoting George Carlin even further.
Mm-hmm. Had to be that. Had to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Regardless of the fact, though, that just blows my mind. That just blows my mind that somebody could go on Twitter and say something that disgusting.
Believe it or not, it happens all the time.
Oh, I know it happens all the time. It's just that should be part of the course. Nobody should be surprised by that.
Not really.
Yeah.
Bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
do agree.
Crazy
that-
how it has to be like that.
No problem.
But hey, like I said a minute ago, it could be worse. It could be the Maury show going on for so long that you finally decide, okay, I think it's time to pump the brakes and call it a day. I was going to do a special TILPC solo stream a while back, and I'm not going to go into a long detail about it, but I'm just going to say it right now. As most of you probably heard, by the end of this year, the Maury show will finally be ending.
Yeah, I'm not sure you should do a stream on that because you're beyond his level.
I'm beyond his level at this point, but here's the thing, though. He started all the way back in the late 80s with his original Gonzo TV show, A Current Affair. No connection to you, Gonzo.
Fair enough.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Back in the 80s and early 90s, Maury Povich actually hosted A Current Affair at one point, and he would do something kind of like what we do here on TILPC, current events.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would go over goings on in Hollywood, and even at one point I think he mentioned crop circles and how stupid they were, because he literally said, I don't know why we have to report on crop circles. I think this is absolutely stupid, but here we are.
You pretty much have George Norrie to thank for that.
You probably should have just cropped it out.
Oh, God damn it. Here we go.
Hey.
From now on, we're gonna have this on the show. I think what needs to happen is, Bard, from this point forward, anytime he makes a pun, if Mutant Yoshi makes a pun, I want a pun counter.
Okay. I
And
think
you know
you
what?
can do that.
Would count.
Yes.
Yep. And
Oh boy, this will be like fucking Civvy 11's sewer running gag. We're probably going to be reaching it into double digits, maybe even triple digits at this point.
Just like a Hiroshima.
Oh my gosh.
So what we'll do is we'll go back through a lot of the TILPC and we will actually get a current count, and then we'll put that on the next episode. So be prepared
Yes,
for the pun counter.
A brand new TILPC staple, everyone.
The
Oh,
pun
boy.
counter.
Bing.
Anyway, so after he left A Current Affair, he went on to do something with Paramount, and my phone goes off again.
Timing.
Phoning it in.
Oh my god! Oh, okay, add another one. Add another one.
Fuck hell.
Okay. Well, anyways, as you probably know, as some of you probably don't know, Maury Povich actually started his show like in the early 90s after A Current Affair. Paramount Television came to him and was like, hey, we want a show kind of similar to the Geraldo Rivera show or Donahue or anything like that. And would you believe me if I told you that the Maury Povich show wasn't originally about paternity testing and if your significant other is cheating on you?
Really?
Yeah, I think I remember that for some reason.
He would tackle current events and actually go on location for like something that's actually going on in the world. And I believe there was one episode that, I'm not going to lie, it literally opened with him saying, I've never had to do this on my show, but we have the entire New York Police Department in my studio, and we have people going through metal detectors because of our guests today. And would you believe me if I told you he had the two most dangerous gangs in the United States, the Bloods and the Crips, on the same stage?
Whoa.
Wow.
I think I remember
Pretty
that for some
dangerous.
reason.
Yes, folks, the Maury Povich show wasn't always about paternity testing. They actually got down and dirty with a lot of topics.
Or crazy teenage daughters.
Or the things I never mentioned on the original Why I Hate the Maury Show rant.
Oh?
I never talked about the episodes where they brought live animals on their show.
Oh. That's right. That was a thing.
Mr. Jack Hanna, I'm looking right at you. I bet you're probably in bed with Carol Baskin and all of them.
Oh, Lord.
He was pretty much the original Tiger King before the Tiger King was cool.
Yeah, but then again, you know, I'm not going to go into anything about the Tiger King. I could make a video about him, but I'm above that. I'm not going to get involved with someone as crazy as Joe Exotic. So let's go ahead and move on to another thing about the Maury show that I didn't get to touch on. One that's actually kind of very insensitive. Do you guys remember the episodes where he would bring people on, these normal people, and expose their phobias to his studio audience so they could laugh at them?
Oh.
Oh, Lord.
I think that was something. I can't remember a time and a place though.
All I could say is that if you look it up on YouTube, you're going to see everything from this woman's afraid of mustard, this woman's afraid of pickles, this woman's afraid of balloons, this man is afraid of peaches.
Why the fuck? No, questions for later.
This person's afraid of puppies, this person's afraid of kittens. And then at the end of the show, he has all these people sitting down. He says, I'm going to bring in a hypnotherapist, and he's going to take you all back, and he's going to tell you it's okay. You all have a normal mental health problem. We can fix this. I can help you fix this. And then he has them hypnotized to actually like what they are afraid of. And just like the Teen Girls episodes, I can tell you this is 100% fake. Nobody in their right mind would be afraid of pickles unless you're Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker.
True story.
Nobody is afraid of balloons. Well, actually, that is actually a real thing because nobody likes to see balloons popping.
Yeah, it's the sound.
The sound terrifies them, which is understandable. I have the same problem as a veteran of the U.S. Navy. Loud noises bother me. Anyway, but peaches, puppies, kittens, mustard,
There's got to be something going on.
Let me tell you all something. This is one of the most disgusting things on the Maury Show that I can remember. Exposing someone's phobia on national television. I want to look at the executive producer like, bro, have you no shame? I mean, you were hyping teen girls up on Mountain Dew and Red Bull to make them act all wild and frantic and crazy. But now you're going to turn around and be like, okay, I want you to be really scared of kittens. Look at this kitten. It's so terrifying. It's going to jump on your face.
Fucking A, man.
Pretend you have a very, very strange childhood trauma where a kitten scratched your face up.
Or yeah, sure, fucking make up a fear of getting, I don't know, just gonna spitball this one, like maybe having a DVD case shut in your face.
Oh my.
That's just ridiculous.
Today on Maury, this person is afraid of DVD cases because he's afraid it's going to snap shut on his nose.
Heaven forbid, or worse yet, no, fucking. How about this one for a show? Somebody is afraid of plastic coffee cups because of the sound they make, like it's fucking clown juice or some shit, like going.
But that's not all. Let's move away from phobias because I'm pretty sure there's people who actually have legit fears, and I want to assure everybody, as somebody who suffers with mental health problems, I want you all to know that if you have a phobia, if you really have a legit phobia and it causes you to break down, you have my support 100%.
Yeah, just to also be clear on this, I was just kidding around. Nobody throw a hissy fit at me. I'm just making up shit as I go.
Oh my God, cancel TILPC!
We're pretty much pointing out that while we have legit fears and reasons behind these fears, we cannot really, how do we put this?
We're not psychiatrists. We just play one on YouTube.
But we did stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
That's true.
We can't really condone Maury for trying to exploit the living daylights out of these just for ratings.
Oh, exploitation. Oh, thank you, Gonzo, because now I want to talk about something that is very, very controversial on his show, and I am surprised he did not get canceled for this. In this current day and age, Mutant Yoshi, you might want to follow along with me on this one. In this current day and age, when we have gender identity and LGBTQ, I think this could easily have gotten Maury canceled back in the day. So, there was a time on the Maury Povich show when he would have 15 beautiful women come out on the set. Oh yeah, how about that, Blister Blood? You like seeing beautiful women just walking out, strutting their stuff, looking all good and everything?
Yeah.
But what if I told you that's not the whole point of the show? The point of the show is, so, audience, I'd like to know your opinion. Do you think Crystal here is a woman or is she a man?
And the typical response being towards the audience would be all like, ooh, and they're all just talking amongst each other like it's fucking...
You would think that. You would think that Maury would go around and then you'd have these crazy people hyped up on Red Bull going, oh, that's a man! That's a man! I know that is, Maury!
I remember that for some reason.
Like they're just batshit crazy. I'm like, that audience, I swear, it's like they're paid to act like wild and crazy animals. No wonder they had to constantly bleep out everything the audience was saying.
Yeah, that much I can agree with. The fucking audience was just crazy as fucking space shots, dude.
Well, I'm really glad that if there's one thing that the COVID-19 pandemic did right, was finally shut that audience up on the Maury Povich show. Like, you can finally hear what's being said on stage without beep, 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 beep.
That's true. Because
My apologies for that.
It's okay, Mutant. You didn't miss much other than the man or woman showcase on the Maury Povich show.
Ooh, you can't do that these days.
No, you cannot. As I
I
said, ladies and gentlemen, if Maury had gone through with this show, those shows today, you can rest assured his show would have been canceled early on. There wouldn't be a final episode coming up.
Nope.
Then, of course, you have other things like the update shows. Nobody really gives a shit about those. Game show bloopers with actual game show hosts on there. Now, that's understandable. I can totally get behind
That's
that.
funny. That's
Yeah.
funny.
There's like you had the likes of Bob Eubanks, Wink Martindale, many others. Even Monty Hall at one point.
Didn't he also have like a musicians up there at one point?
I'm not sure exactly. I can't recall. I'd have to look it up. And there's other shows like Crazy Marriages and Love Lives, where it's like, hi, Maury, I'm 21 years old and my lover is 85, and we have the best life ever. Then it's like this woman comes out looking all beautiful and gorgeous, and then out comes this 85-year-old man wearing a tuxedo. He's like, oh yeah, we have a wonderful relationship, me and her.
There's only two words that spring to mind immediately: gold digger.
Yep.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
Oh,
you know the rest.
Oh, Kanye,
You know the
don't
rest.
sue us. Kanye,
You know
don't
the
sue us.
rest.
Kanye, please don't sue us.
But you ain't dealing with no broke man. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay, so with that prospect in mind, we've gone through several things about the Maury Povich show, but there's one last thing that I could not bring up in the Why I Hate the Maury show rant, and this one is very, 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 very controversial.
Here we go, folks. A TILPC exclusive.
If there was one thing that I would never discuss on on the original Why I Hate the Maury show, domestic violence.
Yeah, that's not cool.
It's
No,
a
I
very
agree with
touchy
you.
subject.
Oh man, so let me explain this to you. So if you remember, I ended the show with the wild teen girls and everything. That's saying that was the worst part. No, this right here is the worst. We have everything from abusive boyfriends, husbands that beat their wives, and everything like that. They made these so disgusting that it made me angry watching it, because like they would do the same typical thing where it's like the victim has the sad, somber music playing and everything like that. And Maury sympathized with them, the audience sympathized with them, and then it plays like the dramatic rock music with the abusive boyfriend and everything, saying how he likes to call her bitch, whore, and slut and everything like that. And then he comes out, acts all dominant, and says, oh, you fucking bitches out there, I'll control every single one of you. All the while the audience is booing and, of course, bleeps all around.
That feels so staged.
It normally is when you're dealing with trash talk, fucking
yeah.
daytime TV.
Now, with that in mind, like they bring out like 4 or 5 guys. Each story is different, and then they bring out a former Marine Corps Marine. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. They bring out a former Marine
drill instructor.
Nope. Even better, a former Marine who is also a member of a SWAT team. He's a well-known person. I think his name was like Dave Vitale or something. He says he's got a little surprise for these guys. He sends them to prison for one day. For one day, they have to spend time in prison, getting the scared straight treatment.
And rightly so.
And yet they
That
sit there like,
shit ain't
man,
cool.
you ain't gonna scare me. You ain't gonna scare me, man. I'll beat your ass right now. Talking all that ghetto trash talk that you hear from a trailer park and anything like that. I mean, I'm not trying to stereotype, but I'm just saying. But what really disgusted me was that Dave Vidali would then take them out of the prison and take them to a morgue and say, this is what you did to your wife, to your girlfriend. He would open it up and there would be a mannequin of the same person that they've been abusing. They're all like, oh my God, baby, I'm so sorry. I can change. I can change. And it's like, and then the woman's just standing there looking all dominant and powerful while they just snivel like little cowards. And all I can say is, oh my, I need to stop.
Yeah.
I need to stop. Because here's the thing, as somebody who has suffered with a similar situation in my childhood, I'm just going to say this flat out. I do not like those episodes of the Maury Povich show, and the producer of the show should be ashamed of himself staging something like that.
Yeah, it feels like they're not taking the subject very seriously at all, and this is a very serious matter.
For as much as I usually take the piss out of everything, this is one thing that just sticks in my craw quite a lot.
This is something you can't joke about, and they're joking about it.
And that's the thing, it's like, we're supposed to be taking this seriously. If you're going to have domestic violence on talk shows like that, you save it for shows like Dr. Phil or something like that, because, hey, at least Dr. Phil is a qualified doctor who can understand this sort of stuff. Not Maury.
He's called Dr. Phil for a reason.
It's in his name.
Oh, by the way, I'm quite surprised that show hasn't been canceled yet.
Right?
Mm.
For
That
how
show's
long it's
pretty
been
much
on
gonna-
TV.
That show's pretty much going to go on until the guy finally drops dead.
Not that's going to be the case since he's a doctor. But I digress. All in all, now that I've gotten everything out in the open about the Maury Povich show, I'm just going to say it flat out. For the 30 years that show has been on the air, all I can say is that, Maury, you deserve your retirement at this point. I'm glad you're getting out while you still have time. So head back to wherever you're going to with Connie Chung and everything like that, and just enjoy life in this
Pretty much.
crazy, crazy world we live in. Then please, let's stop with the paternity testing, for God's sakes. Because we all know the setup. The woman wants her check. The man knows he's not the father. It's proven. She runs off stage, screaming like a banshee, runs through the dressing room, slams the door, and then throws a temper tantrum like a 3-year-old. Screaming, he is the father! He is the father! He is the father!
Although sometimes, like you said in the Maury, in that I think it was in the finale, I believe, where usually the actual reverse happens, and usually the father actually ends up wanting to be supportive of the mother.
I've seen that. I've actually seen that, and that makes me happy. It's like, I'm glad the guy wants to be there in some sort of way. Like, every kid needs to have a father figure, and even though he's not biologically theirs, there's a difference between being a father and being dad.
Exactly.
And these guys, I commend them.
Yeah, it's like you said in the finale. Sometimes it does turn out with a happy ending. The guy ends up being the father. They go home and raise a happy family. But then, a few weeks later, she comes back with another guy.
God damn it. You just had to bring that up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, the update shows. I don't want to even go into those because, holy crap, it's like, do we really need to hear this again?
We would be here all night.
Yeah. To basically quote your video there, where they all live happy lives, or do they?
I got that from the Nostalgia Critic, by the way.
Yep.
I can't claim credit for that joke. Yep. But I digress. We would be here all night if we were to just talk about the final episode of the Maury Povich show coming later this year. But I think it's time to turn to the lone gunman because, boy, howdy, does he have something to say for us tonight.
You bet your ass. And trust me when I say it's not as fierce as my last one, but I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
For fuck's sake, dude. Pun counter.
Ding. Well, here we are again. Here we all are once more, where everyone gathers round to listen to some cantankerous old fart talk about the olden days and whatever else is on his mind, since you guys seem to like the last mega piece that I threw together over the course of a few weeks, and then let it all hang out on that fateful day on November 7th of last year. Though tonight's piece won't be as intense as the last one, I promise with every fiber of my being that this will still hold the same level of vitriol that you've all come to see from me as of currently. And as for what's on my mind, well, strap yourselves in for this one and hold tight to your collective sphincters for this one, because this might rattle a few cages here and there. So by now you've all heard about the canceling of the Electronic Entertainment Expo, better known to you all as E3. Yep, let's face facts about this, people. After the last few times that you could even recall there even was one, have any of you even remotely noticed that something seemed, well, a little bit off about these shows? Like, yeah, there was plenty of entertainment on display, I use that term loosely, but as far as the electronics were concerned, where were any of those? And not to mention, right, what was the big cause for the cancellation in the first place? It was because the ESA said so, especially during the massive outbreak of the coup during the time which, yeah, I could probably understand. Would have been nice for it to have gone on and all, but of course there's been an update regarding that. Turns out there's going to be a more reinvigorated version of E3 slated for next summer in LA. Yeah, yeah, sure, keep telling yourself that there, bucko. Because even if this is the case, let me clue you all in on a few things. Your showcases from last year was more fluff pieces from some developers like Ubisoft, a bunch of nothing from Bethesda and Xbox. Then there was the absolute all-out horror show that was Take-Two Interactive's showcase, note the air quotes there. And to be quite honest with you, if that wasn't enough of a reason for anyone to have completely tuned out of last year's E3, then the lackluster showcases, save for an extremely select few, should have given everyone some degree of pause before backing way the fuck off. Let's just understand one thing here, people. Apparently, video games as a live service is the way of the future, and it's not going away anytime soon. At least for some of the bigger name companies, anyway. And the more that you keep putting on pressure on them and remind them that video games are supposed to be just that, then by all means keep putting the pressure on them, and whatever you do, don't let them off easy. Because if you think of it like this, the very idea of this should be considered a big red flag, as they're all putting out an incomplete, early access game where you're basically serving as the unwitting and unpaid beta tester. That's all that is, and people like you are continually getting suckered into it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some big dumb meathead who just flicks switches, moves stuff around, and picks things up and sets them down for a living, so my opinion equals squat with a side of fuck all, right? At least that's what I've been led to believe, anyway. But even then, it's kind of the reason I've come within inches of giving up on video games as a whole these days, because I just could not care about any of the new releases that come out, or if they do, I'm immediately waiting on price cuts before I go out and buy anything. I mean, come on, before I got my hands on Doom 2016 for both my PC and my Xbox, I waited on either a sale or a price cut before moving on it. Sure, I bought the same game twice, but that's the thing with me. I've enjoyed the series for what they were, because they were the sole reason as to why I got into the FPS genre in the first place way back when. Speaking of that, let me shift over to something that I know a lot of gamers like me have memories of. The Halo series. Everybody and their grandmother should know this, from the iconic theme song, the story, the multiplayer, and all that shabazz. Let me tell you all how I got into that. I first remember seeing someone bringing their Xbox into a gamers club meeting one night when I was in high school. I think this was in my junior year, I think it was. Maybe even sophomore. Late sophomore, I think. And of all the games they brought with them at the time, it was of course the original Halo Combat Evolved. I had played a few sessions of it in multiplayer and all that. Then, I recall hanging out at a computer club meetup, where they were all heading over to this one LAN party place. I remember this clearly because in that place there were 4 big screen TVs, all with 4 Xboxes apiece, with 4 controllers apiece, and in front of them were 4 huge leather couches. Like, if you see these things and you sat in one of those, your whole body would sink into them and you were not getting out of them unless you had someone getting a forklift and haul your ass out of them. But I remember this because all 4 of these consoles had a Halo Combat Evolved on there. So, we all get the idea to have ourselves a match of Capture the Flag on Blood Gulch, 8v8. Now, of course, I'm still sort of new to this. I'm, of course, getting my ass steamrolled a few times, but I've either gotten paybacks on people, assisted on kills, nothing spectacular, right? I even remember the one time where we were even caught in a ferocious deadlock and nobody was making any progress anywhere. I knew my team was on, I believe I was on blue, I think, needed the win, and eventually this one guy had hopped into a Warthog, and I took the passenger seat. So we're rolling up to the enemy team's base, where I jump out and no one's looking at us, so I run in there and grab the flag before running out to the Warthog and jump back in, and once I was in, the other guy sees I have the flag, hops back in, and immediately we're making a beeline back to our base, with me as the flag carrier in tow. We're getting shot at like hell. I'm getting pelted. He's getting chewed up. I think there was even a sniper rifle shot that barely whizzed past my head. But I get back into our base and slam that flag in for the game-winning tiebreaker. But the thing is, we all had fun in doing it. That's the point. I mean, hell, the Halo Master Chief Collection quite honestly remembered this. And you'd think that because of the extensive history this game has, or the series, or the game series itself has, not to mention the massive amount of lore and such, you'd think that perhaps, maybe, you'd think that when it comes time for something like comic books, literary novels, movies, or even a TV show, you'd think that they'd treat that IP with some degree of respect, right? Right? What? What's everyone looking at me funny for? Oh, they did? But they didn't even bother looking over the lore and think that that's what people want, as well as the fact that the CGI is god-awful, the TV show is chock full of shit that doesn't pertain to the series in general, resulting in it being nothing more than an inferior version of The Mandalorian? Well, somebody paint my ass right and call me a baboon, because I sure as hell ain't fucking surprised. They did the same thing like this so many times before that it's just gotten so sickening. They've even tried this with the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie, and they've tried this with Doom Annihilation, and they're just going to keep right on going with this shit because all the cape movies, superhero movies for those of you in real Lundy, have all shot the bed, and now they're all making movies and TV shows, once again, I'm sorry, adaptations for things like Netflix, Paramount Plus, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, and they're either going to completely ignore the established lore, completely ignore the core audience, and they're going to inject narratives of the now and completely shit on it altogether. Now, I get it. There have been examples of when adaptations of things like video games and anime have really worked. The Sonic movie that I talked about last time, despite, like I said, it was kind of on the mass side, and despite it didn't quite follow the source material, it did really well, and now that there's a sequel that, as of this writing and recording on April 7th, that'll have long since hit theaters right now, and from the looks of it, it looks to be really solid. The polar opposite of this would be things like the Cowboy Bebop reboot for Netflix that, big shock, once the source material was flat out ignored, or, another big shock, some people within the cast or crew turned out to be royal douchebags. Well, look at that. It got canned after the first season, and like clockwork, we were all to blame for it. You know, is it any wonder as to why nearly everything that people like this touch immediately turns to shit? It's not because we're getting older these days, although that is a part of it. Not quite sure how big a part it is, but there you have it. The real reason, and of course, much like those fat cats up on Capitol Hill and in the White House, there's no accountability for the train wrecks they either cause or create. Which means what? If you said that there's a huge lack of transparency, you're absolutely right. But then again, how can anyone hide anything considering the fact that it's all there for everyone to see at point-blank range? You'd have to have one hell of a sleight of hand check in order to pull that off, and the DC on that is about 20 plus. But now I'm just getting ahead of myself. But beyond that, though, people, If there was one saving grace to all of this, is that it's just high time to just start saying no thanks to these people who only see the properties we know and love over the years and start changing things around to fit some sort of batshit insane narrative, or that they know better than you do, and you would just better sit there and accept those moronic changes, or else you're in...
Insert baseless insult of the now here.
Well, here's what I got to say to that in retort.
Insert derogatory insult here.
How about you just shut your fucking whiny mouth, get back to your lonely writer's garret, your dipshit studio, or whatever kind of pathetic fucking production team you have, and instead of injecting narratives into shit that doesn't fucking belong there, you can all just give us something worthwhile to watch or play that doesn't shove the fact that we're all horrible human beings due to X, Y, and Z into our faces. I've said this before, and I will personally die on that hill for this statement. We never asked for it for one, and we most certainly didn't see a need for it for two. We're not that hard to please here, so quit fucking it up, or else people like us are all going to swear it off in droves.
Wow.
I've wanted to know why people insist on taking something that exists and try to insert their own story into it or their own narrative, but not make an original work. But then I remember that completely original works, rarely get much mainstream flow nowadays. So
Hollywood is out of ideas these days. So they're just stealing stuff and adapting stuff.
Oh, no. You don't understand, Mutant. It's totally remastered.
Oh.
If you catch my drift.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god. He totally went there.
Yeah. Also, try to explain that shit to like a fucking Warcraft 3 reforged. Bullshit.
And you know what else? Let's go a little further into that. Original works. Yeah, this just came up not too long ago, and I actually saw this on Facebook, and I fucking called it. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is in theaters right now, and it has made $72 million in the box office in its first week alone.
Wow.
That should tell you a lot right there.
It is currently the #1 movie right now, aside from Morbius.
Gee, I wonder how that happened.
But 1 week into its box office run, being the #1 movie right now, somebody decided to rear his ugly head and start more drama.
And who would that be?
Everybody, give it up for Ken motherfucking Penders.
Oh no!
I'm gonna need a quick lesson on who the hell he is.
Ken Penders was one of the original OG artists and storyboard artists for the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comics back in the 90s. During that time, he started a mini-series based around Knuckles and the Chaotix to an extension. During that time, he introduced multiple characters, multiple Echidna characters. And mind you, this is before the time when Sonic Adventure introduced the Echidonian tribe led by Chief Pakakamak.
And also way before the Nocturnus tribe.
Exactly. But before all of that, there was the ancient tribe of Angel Island that included the likes of Julie Sue, Laura Lee, Laurie Sue, and the list just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And Ken Penders says, the Echidnas are my creation. Sega didn't make them, I did. And anybody who says anything about them owning the Echidnas, they're mine. Nobody else has them. And if you so much as question his logic, He'll come after you, he'll flag you down, he'll get you reported to social media, and he'll call you all sorts of disgusting names on his social media and say, I cannot do wrong. I'm Ken Penders. I made the Echidna tribe. Look at my fursona. Isn't she so goddamn sexy? I have a whole comic book dedicated to her and her entire family, which I'm not going to tell everybody they're totally an incest family. And now he has the nerve to want to sue Paramount and Paramount Global and Sega for the use of Knuckles in the movie.
I'm going to lose.
Groan.
Why? No, seriously,
Because he created
why?
the echidna.
Obviously, they're totally not a real animal that live in Australia.
Wow.
And they don't have 4 penises. I mean, what?
I imagine he wants some fucking royalties for doing jack all. I think
Pretty
I ended up
much.
hearing something similar happening with Zootopia. That somebody was like, I made up the concept, but since it was all in their head, the courts ruled in favor of Disney. I think it was through Zootopia. I'm going to have to look that up later.
Ladies and gentlemen, as if the court case against Chris Chan in July wasn't going to be a spectacle in and of itself, I now
man.
wait with bated breath for the case of Ken Penders versus Paramount Global.
He's not going to
over
win.
Echidnas.
He's not going to win. There's just no way. I mean, he's just
Hey,
one man,
Debo.
and that is, oh my god, a huge entity. He's not
Hey,
going to
Debo,
win.
And they're going to have lawyers out the ass.
Oh god,
What's
yes.
that, Mutant?
Could you do me a favor real quick?
What's that?
Post editing of this. Could you just have Woody laugh at him for me, please?
You know what? I think we'll do that since this is a recorded episode, not a live episode. For the sake of it, Bard, can I get away with throwing this in for the editing?
Sure.
All right. This is totally not a live episode, so we are allowed to do this since it's a recorded episode. Woody, if you please, insert the laugh right here. And the same picture that we've always used. And we're going back in 5, 4, 3. Thank you, Woody. So overall, all I'm going to say is this. I agree with Blisterblood on this. They want game companies and streaming services, they want to act like they can do no wrong. It's going to be the same with Ken Penders. Nobody's going to give a flying rat's ass about your fucking comic, and nobody's going to give a shit about your fursona. And I'll tell you this much. Maybe, if you started drawing Rule 34 of your Echidna girls, maybe you'd have some people that would maybe you'd have some fans. Maybe you'd finally get the recognition you deserve. But until then, you challenging Paramount Global, I'm sorry. I want to watch what happens. I want to see you get dropped. I want to see you fall faster than anybody I have ever seen. I want to see the courts laughing at you.
I'd especially would love to see all of Paramount's lawyers laughing him out of the building too.
Like
And not to mention even filing for a countersuit instead.
No. You don't understand. They wouldn't want to file a countersuit against him. You know why?
What's that?
Why would we want to sue a loser like him?
Yeah, fair point. I'm just saying for the waste of time that this man is basically produced.
Oh yeah. All I can say is this: if you want to find out more about this, we'll provide a link in the description below. Please feel free to go look it up. I promise you, you're gonna love hearing about Ken Penders.
And I especially would also like for everybody to also take a look at the various articles related to the Halo series itself. Basically fucking crashing and burning within the first few weeks. Trust me,
God.
Trust me, folks. You will have perhaps the biggest laugh of all time.
I just looked at it. Dear God. Wow.
Now you
every-
see why I reacted like that.
Well, oh God, that too, mutant. Jesus Christ. No, I'm looking at Halo and I'm seeing like, wow, this is a colossal failure. And then people say, "Oh, Halo's the best thing that Bungie ever made." I'm like, "Bro, have you played Myth? Have you played Marathon? Did you maybe dabble your toes into Destiny a little bit? They're known for more than Halo."
Way
And
more
not
than
only that, Bungie didn't even create Halo itself. They're basically bought the IP of Halo, and they're just chucking crap out just to keep the IP proper.
That's Microsoft. Well, that's on Microsoft. Bungie has nothing
Is
to do
it?
with Halo anymore.
No,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Not since Halo Reach.
I thought
Yeah,
it was Bungie who just basically owned the IP for it.
Nope, not
No,
anymore.
you're talking about 343 Industries.
Oh,
Guns-
okay.
Gonzo, you were there on the episode of TILPC when we found out that Bungie got bought by Sony.
It's been ages ago, so it feels
It's
like
been
ages ago.
3 or 4 months.
It feels like ages, really. I mean, yikes.
Well, technically speaking, yeah, we've had a bit of a problem getting episodes out as of late due to reasons we're not going to go into.
Yeah, life gets in the way. What can you
Yeah.
do?
Bard, where is episode 3?
I streamed it.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
What platform?
All of them.
Oh, my God.
Fuck.
Watch us on
Cover
HBO Max, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus. We are simulcasting all over the streaming service.
Cover
Check
your
us out on
bases.
Spotify too. Coming
Don't
soon
forget
to
to follow
Apple
us on
Plus.
Pandora and iHeartRadio.
Click the link
Oh,
down
boy.
below.
Oh, boy.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Support us on Patreon.
Oh, shit.
Get early access.
And you are the unwitting and unpaid beta tester. You
What?
lucky sucker, you.
Oh my God, yes. All right, so with that prospect in mind, we do need to wrap this up. But I want to thank you all for catching us here on TILPC. Even though we've been off for about 4 months due to a lot of reasons, I still want to say though, I'm having fun doing this, and we're going to try to get this back into a monthly cadence and hopefully have live sessions in the Discord community. Because believe me, we want that audience, and we will get that audience.
Oh yeah, we certainly will.
And I assure you, if you are watching this, you're probably already in the stream party that we are currently hosting right now. And by the way, we're breaking the fourth wall. Hi, chat. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Yeah, I see you all in there. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing?
It's
I
good to
see
see you all.
Akia-chan. I see everybody in there. I see Opera Diva.
Hey,
Oh,
Borg. Hey, Borg. I see you there too. How you doing there, buddy?
It's
You're
good to
all
see you all.
here, and you're not even here.
That's right.
So how's that work? You're everywhere, and you're nowhere.
We can see everything.
Hey, chat.
Play.
So play
Nice. Let's go down the panel one more time as we wrap this show up. Blister Blood, the Lone Gunman.
Take it easy, everybody.
Mindless Gonzo, the Hunter of Karens. And I'm sorry to cut you off there, Blood. I'll let you finish that statement in just a moment.
Good. I need to rest.
You were saying, Blood?
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, stay gold.
Mutant Yoshi?
This was over in a snap.
Pun counter!
Bing.
All right. I'm not going to call for Sania just yet because I know she's probably waiting to grab you with her tail and drag you off, Mutant Yoshi. So with that, I'll say the perfect fifth, the Blind Bard.
Hey everyone, it was definitely good to be here once again here on the panel room floor. And until next time, take it easy. Take it easy, everybody.
And one more thing, Bard.
What's that?
Where's episode 4?
I'll be streaming it next month.
With that prospect out of the way, this is T-Bone 2004 reminding you, please, for the love of God, stay safe in this crazy, fucked up world because there's a lot of things going on right now. $4 for a gallon of gas. World War III is on the horizon. And as the mighty Temptation said, the only safe place now is an Indian reservation. But the band will play on. I'm T1004. Thanks so much for joining us on the Illogical Podcast. We will see you all next month. Same time, same place, same Discord community. Sania, take us home.
Thanks for tuning in to the Illogical Podcast, where they rant about things no one else will. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for updates on future episodes. And be sure to like and share the show if you enjoyed it. And hey, this show may be over, but I'm still here, and I enjoy your company, yeah?